speak English fluently. Let's practice.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to English Boost Zone.
This episode is especially designed for B1 and B2 level English learners who want to sound more fluent, more natural, and more confident every single time they open their mouth in English.
If you have ever felt like your English is good enough to get by, but not quite good enough to really shine, then you are in exactly the right place today.
And today, we are taking your fluency to the next level in one of the most powerful and most enjoyable ways possible.
Today's topic is English idioms, and by the end of this episode, you are going to understand exactly what an idiom is. You are going to know where and when to use idioms naturally in your daily conversations, and you are going to learn 10 English idioms with clear meanings, real sentence examples, and the exact situations where they belong.
10 idioms, properly explained, naturally demonstrated, and ready to use in your very next English conversation.
So if you are ready to stop sounding like a textbook and start sounding like a real English speaker, then stay with us because this episode was made for you.
I am Jake.
I am Maya.
But before we dive into the idioms, let us answer the most important question first. What exactly is an English idiom?
Great question. And here is the simplest and clearest answer. An idiom is a phrase or expression whose meaning cannot be understood from the individual words alone. The words together create a completely new meaning, a meaning that has nothing to do with what each word means on its own.
For example, if someone says it is raining cats and dogs outside, they do not mean that cats and dogs are literally falling from the sky. They mean it is raining very heavily. The phrase raining cats and dogs is an idiom. The words together mean something completely different from the words individually.
And here is why idioms matter so much for B1 and B2 learners specifically. Native English speakers use idioms constantly, in offices, in homes, in casual conversations, in text messages, in films and television, in news and podcasts. Idioms are everywhere in natural English. And if you do not know them, you will often understand every single word in a sentence, but still have no idea what the person actually meant.
Which is one of the most frustrating feelings in language learning. You studied, you prepared, you know the vocabulary, and yet somehow the meaning still escapes you. Idioms are often the reason why.
So where should you use idioms? The answer is in natural, casual, everyday conversation. Idioms make your English sound warm, relaxed, and genuinely fluent. They signal to the people around you that you are not just using textbook English. You are using living English, the kind that breathes and flows and connects.
Use them with friends, colleagues, classmates, and in any informal conversation. In very formal writing or highly professional documents, idioms are used less often. But in spoken English and in casual written communication like messages and emails between people who know each other, they are absolutely everywhere.
Now, you know what an idiom is, you know why they matter, and you know where to use them. So let us get into the 10 idioms we have for you today.
Section 1, our first 4 idioms. And we are starting with the ones that come up most often in everyday situations, the ones you are most likely to hear in your very next English conversation.
Idiom number 1, hit the ground running.
Meaning, to start something new quickly and with great energy and enthusiasm, without needing time to settle in or prepare. You begin immediately and effectively from the very first moment.
Example sentences. She hit the ground running on her first day and already impressed the whole team. I want to hit the ground running with my English practice this month. He hit the ground running with the new project and finished the first phase in just 3 days.
When to use it? Use this idiom when someone starts a new job, a new project, a new habit, or any new situation with impressive speed and energy. It is a very positive expression. People love hearing it.
Idiom number 2, under the weather.
Meaning, to feel slightly unwell, tired, or not quite yourself. Not seriously ill, just not at your best on a particular day.
Example sentences. I am feeling a little under the weather today, so I might rest at home. She looked a bit under the weather during the meeting. Are you under the weather? You seem quieter than usual.
When to use it? Use this idiom when you or someone else is feeling slightly unwell but not seriously sick. It is a gentle and considerate way to describe not feeling well, much softer and more natural than simply saying, I am sick.
Idiom number 3, on the fence.
Meaning, to be undecided about something, to not have made up your mind yet, to be sitting between two options without committing to either one.
Example sentences. I am still on the fence about whether to accept the job offer. He seems on the fence about moving to a new city. Are you still on the fence? We need to make a decision very soon.
When to use it? Use this idiom whenever you or someone else has not made a decision yet. It is perfect for conversations about choices, plans, opinions, and dilemmas. Very natural in both spoken and written casual English.
Idiom number 4, bite the bullet.
Meaning, to force yourself to do something difficult, uncomfortable, or unpleasant because it is necessary. To stop avoiding it and simply face it with courage and determination.
Example sentences. I had been nervous about the presentation for weeks, but I finally bit the bullet and did it. She bit the bullet and had the difficult conversation she had been putting off. Sometimes you just have to bite the bullet and face the challenge directly.
When to use it? Use this idiom when someone overcomes their fear or hesitation and does something hard. It has a strong, determined, courageous energy to it, and it always sounds impressive when used naturally in conversation.
Section 2, idioms 5 to 8. And these 4 are especially useful in conversations about relationships, communication, and social situations, the places where English fluency really matters most.
Idiom number 5, let the cat out of the bag.
Meaning, to accidentally reveal a secret or surprise that was supposed to be kept hidden, to share information before it was meant to be shared.
Example sentences. I completely let the cat out of the bag about the surprise party. I am so sorry. He did not mean to, but he let the cat out of the bag during dinner. Try not to let the cat out of the bag before the official announcement is made.
When to use it? Use this idiom when someone accidentally reveals information that was supposed to be secret. It always has a slightly apologetic or slightly mischievous feeling, depending on the situation. People use it in social conversations constantly.
Idiom number 6, see eye to eye.
Meaning, to agree with someone, to share the same opinion or view on something. When two people see eye to eye, they completely understand each other and are on the same page.
Example sentences. We do not always see eye to eye, but we always respect each other. I am so glad we finally see eye to eye on this decision. They rarely see eye to eye, but somehow always produce great results together.
When to use it? Use this idiom in conversations about agreements and disagreements. It is often used in the negative form, we do not see eye to eye, to politely describe a difference of opinion without making it sound like a serious argument or conflict.
Idiom number 7, burn the midnight oil.
Meaning, to work very late into the night, to stay up past your normal sleeping time in order to finish something important or meet a deadline.
Example sentences. I have been burning the midnight oil all week trying to finish this assignment. She burned the midnight oil before her exam and still performed brilliantly. Sometimes you have to burn the midnight oil, but always rest properly afterwards.
When to use it? Use this idiom when talking about working or studying very late at night. It suggests hard work, dedication, and effort, and it always sounds very natural and expressive in casual English conversation.
Idiom number 8, the ball is in your court.
Meaning, it is now your turn to take action or make a decision. The responsibility has moved to you. What happens next depends entirely on what you choose to do.
Example sentences. I have told him how I feel. Now the ball is completely in his court. I sent the application yesterday. The ball is in their court now. You have done everything you can. The ball is in their court and all you can do is wait.
When to use it? Use this idiom in conversations about decisions, negotiations, and waiting for someone else to respond or act. It sounds calm, mature, and confident, and it is used in both personal and professional English conversations every single day.
Section 3, our final 2 idioms. And then we are going to bring all 10 together in a real natural conversation, so you can hear exactly how they sound in real spoken English.
Idiom number 9, once in a blue moon.
Meaning, something that happens very rarely, almost never, so infrequently that it feels almost surprising when it actually occurs.
Example sentences. I only eat fast food once in a blue moon. It is just not something I enjoy regularly. She calls her old school friends once in a blue moon, but the connection is always warm when she does. He only takes a day off once in a blue moon. He is incredibly dedicated to his work.
When to use it. Use this idiom when describing something that happens very rarely in your life or in someone else's life. It is a warm, slightly poetic expression, and it always makes your English sound natural and expressive.
Idiom number 10, get out of hand.
Meaning, when a situation becomes out of control, too difficult to manage, more serious or more chaotic than originally expected or intended.
Example sentences. The argument started small, but it quickly got out of hand. The project got completely out of hand because nobody was communicating clearly. I think this situation is starting to get out of hand, and we need to address it now before it gets worse.
When to use it. Use this idiom when a situation is becoming unmanageable or is escalating beyond what is reasonable. It works in both serious and lighthearted contexts, and it is one of the most commonly used idioms in everyday natural English conversation.
10 idioms. Hit the ground running. Under the weather. On the fence. Bite the bullet. Let the cat out of the bag. See eye to eye. Burn the midnight oil. The ball is in your court. Once in a blue moon. Get out of hand. All 10, explained clearly, with real examples, and completely yours.
Now, let us hear all 10 in one natural flowing conversation. Listen carefully, try to recognize each idiom as it appears, and notice how naturally and effortlessly they fit into real spoken English.
Ready?
Ready. So how has your week been? You look a little tired, if I am honest.
I really am. I've been burning the midnight oil every night this week. This project has just been completely relentless.
Have you at least made some good progress?
Actually, yes. I hit the ground running on Monday, which really helped. But by Wednesday, I was completely under the weather. No energy, just not myself at all.
Oh no, and you still kept working?
I had to. I had a big decision hanging over me too, whether to present the first version or wait and improve it more. I was completely on the fence about it for days.
And what did you decide?
I bit the bullet and presented it yesterday. My manager had been waiting, and I didn't want the whole thing to get out of hand by delaying further.
Smart. How did she respond?
She said she would review it over the weekend, so the ball is in her court now. I just have to wait and trust the process.
And how are things with your colleague? I know you two don't always see eye to eye.
Actually, we had a really honest conversation yesterday. I accidentally let the cat out of the bag about some changes I had made without telling her, but she was wonderful about it. Honestly, we only have moments like that once in a blue moon, but when they happen, they really strengthen the relationship.
That is really lovely to hear. You had quite a week.
I really did.
All 10 idioms in one natural conversation, under 2 minutes. Did you catch them all?
And did you notice how none of them felt strange or forced? They simply appeared where they naturally belonged, and the conversation kept flowing. That's what fluent English sounds like, and that's exactly what you are building toward every single time you listen to an episode like this one.
Here's what I want to say to every B1 and B2 learner who stayed with us all the way to this point. You did not just listen to a list of idioms today. You heard them explained. You heard them in context. You heard them in a real conversation. And your brain has been quietly absorbing all of it this entire time. That is not passive learning. That is acquisition. And acquisition is what fluency is actually made of.
So here's your challenge for this week. Choose 3 idioms from today, just 3. Write 1 real sentence for each one about something that is actually happening in your life right now. Say each sentence out loud 3 times, and then use at least 1 in a real conversation or message before this week is over.
Drop your sentences in the comments below. We genuinely read every single one, and we want to see your idioms being used in real personal sentences because your practice here matters, and so does your progress.
If today helped you, please subscribe to English Boost Zone. Like this episode and share it with one friend who is learning English. Your one share could be the episode that changes someone else's fluency journey completely.
Next week, we are covering advanced English collocations, the word combinations that make your English sound instantly more natural and more precise. And trust me, you are going to want to be here for that one.
Until then, keep practicing, keep listening, keep growing. And remember, fluency is not a destination. It is a daily decision. And today, you made that decision.